$500 a month can retire you 6 years earlier or 6 years later. And the difference isn't the amount, the fund, or your timing. It's nothing but the order you invested in. Same money, same paycheck, same effort. Sequence it right and the math compounds for you. Sequence it wrong and you'll spend a decade paying interest with one hand while investing with the other. Today, you get the complete order, 6 steps, first dollar to last, revealed in full at the halfway mark, and then built piece by piece with this year's real limits and rates on every step. By the end, you'll know exactly where your next $500 goes and where the one after that goes for the rest of your working life. My name is William, and the reason order matters more than almost anything else in personal finance comes down to one uncomfortable fact. Your dollars have wildly different jobs available to them, paying wildly different wages. Right now, in 2026, the same dollar can earn a guaranteed 100% in one place, erase a guaranteed 21.5% loss in another, collect about 4% risk-free in a third, or ride the market's long-run 7-ish% in a fourth. 100, 21, 4, 7. Those aren't close. And yet, most people assign their dollars to these jobs in whatever order life suggested. A brokerage app downloaded during a bull run, a 401k form skipped during a busy onboarding week, a card balance quietly compounding underneath it all. The result is money working hard in the wrong building. Here's what the wrong order actually costs, because years earlier is a claim that owes you arithmetic. Meet the pattern in one person. Cole, 31, genuinely trying. $500 a month into a taxable brokerage account, index funds, disciplined as a metronome. Enthusiasm found him before sequence did. He's carrying a $6,000 card balance at 21.5% that eats about $1,100 a year, and he never filed the match paperwork at work, leaving roughly $2,000 of free employer money unclaimed annually. His $500 a month is real. His effective progress is closer to $240 after the interest bleed and the unclaimed match are counted. Imani, same office, same $500, learned the order first. Her money enters at the top of the sequence, and every dollar lands in its highest-paying job before the next job opens. Run both at a defended 7%, and the gap at retirement age is measured in years, 6 to 8 of them, from identical monthly effort. Order was the entire difference. The amount was never the story. One more piece before the reveal, because it explains why the sequence is shaped the way it is. The order isn't a taste ranking, it's 3 tiers of certainty. Guaranteed returns come first, always, because a sure thing outranks a probable thing at any interest rate worth mentioning. Protection comes second, because unprotected investments are sold in panics. The data on this is brutal. Investors without cash cushions are the ones who lock in losses at every market bottom. And an emergency fund isn't a savings goal, it's armor for everything invested after it. Growth comes third in order of tax treatment because 2 accounts holding the identical fund can finish decades apart depending on what the taxman takes on the way out. Certainty, then protection, then growth ranked by tax shelter. That's the logic. Now here's the machine it builds. The order. Complete. First dollar to last. 1. The employer match. 2. High interest debt. 3. The emergency fund. 4. The Roth IRA. 5. The rest of the 401k. 6. The taxable brokerage. That's the whole sequence. Your $500 a month enters at step 1, fills each step to its line, and overflows to the next. Most months, most people, are only ever touching 2 or 3 steps at once. The order just decides which ones. Now let's build each step properly with the numbers. Step 1. Take every dollar of employer match. If your job matches 401k contributions, commonly 50 cents to a dollar per dollar on your first 3 to 6% of salary, this is a guaranteed instant 100 or 50% return, the only one in finance, and skipping it is declining a raise you already earned. On a $60,000 salary with a typical match, that's around $2,000 a year of free money. The move takes 10 minutes in your benefits portal. Contribute exactly enough to capture the full match, not a percent more yet. The rest of the 401k's turn comes at step 5. If your employer offers no match, step 1 is empty for you. The order simply starts at step 2. Step 2. Destroy high-interest debt. Anything above roughly 8%, which in practice means credit cards, now averaging over 21%. Paying off a 21% balance is a guaranteed 21% return, which beats the market's long-run average 3 times over with zero risk attached. Order of attack inside the step: highest rate first, minimums on the rest, every spare dollar from your 500 aimed at the leader until the whole tier under 8% is all that remains. Car loans at 6%, student loans at 5%, mortgages at anything reasonable, those do not belong in this step. They lose to the market's expected return and get paid on schedule while your money moves on. Step 3. Build the armor. 3 to 6 months of survival expenses in a high-yield savings account, around 4% right now at the online banks, against the big banks' 0.5%. On a $15,000 fund, that's $600 a year versus $75 for identical FDIC insurance. 3 months if your income is steady and your household has 2 earners. 6 if you're solo, commission-based, or supporting others. This step exists to protect steps 4 through 6. The investor with cash never sells stocks in a bad month and never rides a layoff back onto the 21% balances you just escaped. Separate bank from your checking, automatic monthly feed, and this step runs in the background while your attention moves forward. Step 4. The Roth IRA. $7,500 a year in 2026. This is where growth starts, and it starts here because of what the Roth is. Money you've already paid tax on, growing for decades, coming out completely tax-free in retirement. Every dollar of gain, yours. $7,500 a year is $625 a month, which means your 500, once steps 1 through 3 are handled, may live entirely inside this single step for a while. And that's the system working, not stalling. Open it anywhere reputable in 15 minutes, automate the monthly transfer, and fill it with the boring total market index fund this whole channel keeps pointing at. One honest gate. High earners hit income limits on direct Roth contributions. If your income is north of the phase-out, that's the backdoor conversation, and it's a different video. Step 5. Go back and finish the 401k. Up to $24,500 in 2026, plus an $8,000 catch-up if you're 50 or older. Same logic as the Roth, tax-advantaged growth. One rung lower only because the Roth's tax-free exit and unlimited fund menu usually beat the 401k's limited menu and deferred taxes. If your plan offers good, low-cost index options, this step is powerful. If you have access to an HSA through a high-deductible health plan, it slots right here too. $4,400 single, $8,750 family in 2026, and it's the only account in America that's tax-free going in, growing, and coming out for medical costs. Most people funding $500 a month never fully fill step 5, and that's fine. The order's job is to aim the overflow, however much overflow exists. Step 6. The taxable brokerage, the step with no ceiling. Everything above the limits lands here, in the same total market index fund. And this is the step named after a real person worth knowing, John Bogle, who founded Vanguard in 1975 and launched the first index fund for ordinary investors the year after, was mocked for it for a decade, and died having saved regular savers more in fees than possibly any human in history. The taxable account is last, not because it's bad, it's flexible, reachable before retirement age, and unlimited, but because it's the only account where gains get taxed along the way. Last in the order, first in freedom. 30 seconds of housekeeping. This channel exists for exactly this kind of video, the boring, load-bearing machinery nobody's algorithm promotes. And if you want the rest of the machine, subscribing is the vote that builds it. Today's comment has a format, just a number, 1 through 6, the step your next dollar is currently pointed at, honestly. Last video's comment section became a map of where this audience actually stands, and I read every one. Now, the 3 objections that deserve airtime. Why not invest while paying off the card? Stocks might return more than 21% this year. They might. Across any honest stretch of years, they won't. The market's century-long average sits near 10 before inflation, and the card's 21.5 is contractual, guaranteed, and compounding against you monthly. Trading a certain 21% loss for a possible 15% gain isn't investing. It's paying a casino to hold your debt. The order says the sure thing wins. The sure thing wins.
6 steps is a lot when 500 barely covers 1. Then the order matters more for you, not less, because when every dollar is scarce, the cost of a misassigned dollar is highest. Most months you'll touch 2 steps, maybe 3. Nobody funds 6 at once on 500. The sequence isn't a demand that you do everything. It's a guarantee that whatever you can do lands in the right place first. My situation is weird. Side income, no 401k, variable months. The order flexes. No employer plan means steps 1 and 5 collapse and the Roth carries more weight. Variable income means percentage-based funding instead of fixed dollars, and a 6-month fund at step 3 instead of 3. And the standing carve-out holds. If your income sits below survival, the sequence isn't your assignment yet. Income is, and no flowchart outranks that. If you spent any part of the last 5 minutes realizing your dollars have been reporting to the wrong building, brokerage before match, investing over a card balance, a fund still parked at 0.5%, hold on to that recognition. It cost you nothing tonight, and it's been costing you every month you didn't have it. Here's the full 10-year picture of the order working. Same 500, defended 7%. Years 1 and 2 mostly belong to steps 1 through 3. Match captured, card dead, armor built. Net worth growth that looks modest and is actually the foundation being poured. Years 3 through 10 belong to the Roth and beyond. Roughly 42,000 contributed to step 4 alone by year 10, sitting near 58,000 with growth, tax-free forever, plus the match money compounding since day 1, plus a cash fund that turned every emergency along the way into an inconvenience. Cole's version of the same decade, the enthusiastic wrong order, arrives at year 10 still dragging the balance he fed before he starved it, still unclaimed on $2,000 a year, sitting on roughly half of Amani's total from the identical 500. The gap keeps widening every year after because order compounds. Tonight's assignment in 3 moves. First, find your step. Pull up your match status, your card rates, your fund balance, and locate the lowest unfilled step in the order. That number is where your very next dollar points, and everything above it is already done or doesn't apply. Second, automate the current step this week. The match percentage in the benefits portal, the extra card payment, the HYSA feed, or the Roth transfer. One setting, built once, so the order runs without your willpower's participation. Third, the piece this video deliberately leaves for its sibling, what to buy inside steps 4 through 6. Which total market fund, what expense ratios due to decades, and why the boring choice keeps beating the brilliant ones. That breakdown is on this channel whenever you're ready. Back to the $500. It never got bigger in this video. No raise, no side hustle, no windfall touched it. It just learned where to stand. Match, debt, armor, Roth, shelter, growth. Each dollar taking its highest paying job before the next job opens. Cole and Imani are both still investing the same amount this month. Only one of them is 6 years closer to done. The order is free. It fits on a sticky note. And your next $500 is leaving your checking account this month. The only question this video leaves you with is whether it's walking into the right building first.